Hi there, Salvation Army 3ers, and welcome to the Christmas Message 2022. This year, we have a special guest, Retired Officer Major Kevin Holland from Australia Territory, who will be delivering the message, and the message will be on Isaiah 9:6. But before we hear from Kevin, I just wanted to say thank you to all those of you who posted this year for the discussion, for the worship, for the verses, for the expressions of interest as you post about different topics. Thank you again for all you guys do on this particular Salvation Army platform. And now, before we hear from Kevin, let us sing a carol. Hark the herald angels sing.
Hi, my name is Kevin Holland and I'm a retired Salvation Army officer living in Queensland, Australia. I'm talking to you today about Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulder, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. If you look at this carefully, you'll see that the prophet Isaiah is talking in the future tense as if it is in the present tense. Unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. This is very important. When God says something is, but it hasn't happened yet, it's a completed issue for him. We might have to wait, but God says it is. And Paul confirms this in Romans 4 and verse 17. God calls life into the dead and treats those things that don't exist as though they do exist. The other thing that you notice here is the prophet says, the government will be, and his identity will be. You've got two issues here. He has a function and he has an identity. This child has two things going here. Now, the function is very important. It's an eternal function. It will never stop. His name, his identity will never cease. And when you fall in love with the counselor, the wonderful, with Jesus, this child, who is our everlasting Father and Prince of Peace, when you fall in love with him, you discover how wonderful he really is. You discover also that he's our counselor. We need a counselor because the enemy is accusing us before God all the time. And you'll read about that in Revelation chapter 12 and around verse 9 and 10. Now, not only is the devil accusing us, but we accuse ourselves and condemn ourselves sometimes. And when we do that, we're playing right into the hands of the devil. And that is not a good idea. Because, you see, the devil uses that as a lever against us in the courtroom of heaven and says, well, Kevin Holland agrees with what I'm saying. He just condemned himself. Didn't you hear him? Now, that's where our counselor comes into play, because he comes alongside of us and he says, I've got to teach you who you are. And it's up to us to discover through the reading of the word who God says we are, and live to that and speak into that and identify ourselves as whatever he says we are. And it's all good. Now, he's wonderful, counselor, mighty God, and everlasting Father. And when I thought of this, I thought of mighty God way up there somewhere. But he's not distant. He's wrapped in the person of a loving Father, in the person of Christ. And he's up close and personal, relating to us as a dad that's a pure and holy and sacrificial Father who gives everything for our good. Now, when you discover all of this about God, you discover the gift of peace. Now, the birth of Jesus was announced with a promise of peace. And the angels came and they sang, glory to God in the highest, peace on earth. Peace on earth, goodwill toward men. And that was a promise. But on the night before Jesus died, Jesus gave the gift of peace to his closest friends. Now we can receive the gift as well. He said, peace I give to you, peace I leave with you. But they weren't ready for it. Their fear was far greater than their faith, and they couldn't receive the gift there and then. Now, this Christmas, I want to encourage you not to allow your fear or any other thing to distract you from receiving everything God has for you. Receive him as somebody you discover to be wonderful. Receive him as your counselor. Receive him as your mighty God, wrapped in the person of your everlasting Father. Receive him as your Prince of Peace. And I think you'll have a much happier Christmas much happier Christmas.
Strength like no one, strength like no one, reaches to me. You are my hope, hope like no one. in the fullness of your grace, in the power of your name, you lift me up, you lift me up. Let's sing. Unveiling love, stronger than mountains, deeper than ocean, reaches to me. In the fullness of your grace, in the fullness of your grace, in the power of your name, you lift me up, you lift me up. In the fullness of your grace, in the power of your name, you lift me up, you lift me up. Your love, oh Lord, reaches to the and your faithfulness reaches to the sky. Your love, oh Lord, reaches to the your faithfulness reaches to the sky. You are my strength, strength like no other. You're my hope.
Thank you, Kevin, for that message and that challenge this Christmas. We here in the New Zealand, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa territory are called Te Opa Whakaora, the army that gives life. And we certainly look forward to a relationship with Jesus that gives us life so we can go out and tell others about who he is and the gift that he gave us at Christmas. Jesus is certainly the gift that keeps giving this Christmas. Bless you all, wherever you are in this army world. Have a lovely Christmas day with family and friends, and all the best for 2023. God bless.
You are my strength, strength like